Happy Friday, y'all, and welcome to an all-new episode of What the Friday. Now, I want to apologize for something that happened on Wednesday afternoon. Now, I was doing a live update on the Harmony Montgomery case that we had just talked about earlier that day. Well, I was on the road and my phone was connected to the Bluetooth in my car. So apparently my microphone doesn't work or work well when that's the situation. All it recorded was absolutely nothing. And I didn't know it until later that night when I went to spot check it. Now, I'm so sorry, y'all, but that's just how this week's been going. But anyway, the update at that time was that Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, had been arrested on Tuesday evening. That news didn't come out until after the midweek mini had been published. Now, the charges that he was arrested on were second-degree felony assault, and that was in connection with a 2019 incident with Harmony. Now, other charges include a misdemeanor charge of interference with custody and 2 misdemeanor charges of endangering the welfare of a child. This is also in reference to Harmony, but there's more that was released yesterday. Now, Harmony's stepmom, Kayla, was arrested on Wednesday for continuing to receive food stamps for Harmony. Records show that between December 2019 and June 2021, Kayla received more than $1,500 in food stamp benefits for Harmony, even though she was no longer living with her and Adam. Now, in a bond hearing on Thursday, Kayla Montgomery pleaded not guilty and a judge ordered a $5,000 bond. Prosecutors argued that the amount of the bond was insufficient because they believed Miss Montgomery to be a flight risk. But her defense attorneys say that she doesn't have the funds available to secure that bond. One condition of the bond, if she does post it, is that she can't have any contact with her husband, Adam. Now, remember how I said on Wednesday, sorry about that there are a lot of blanks to be filled in this case. I have a feeling that soon more and more is going to be coming out about this case. Now, another bit of information that has came out comes from Harmony's great-uncle, Kevin Montgomery. He says that Adam admitted to him in 2019 that he had bashed little Harmony around the house, resulting in a black eye. And the reason he did it is pretty disturbing. He had left Harmony, who was only 5 years old at the time, in charge of watching her infant brother while Adam went to the restroom. When he came back, the baby was crying, and I guess that was Harmony's fault. Now, Kevin Montgomery also said that he had witnessed child abuse, such as hard spankings on her bottom, being forced to stand in a corner for hours, and having to scrub the toilet with her own toothbrush. Now, according to Kayla, the wife of Adam, she hasn't seen her husband since October of 2021. She also says that the last time she saw Harmony was in either November or December of 2019. Kayla was heading to work that day, and Adam told her that he was taking Harmony back to her mom that day. That was the last time she saw the child, and Harmony was never mentioned again. Now, all of this was told to police by Kayla on December 31st. The FBI is involved in this case. A 24-hour tip line has been set up, and a $60,000 reward has been established. And then released just earlier on today, Kayla's mom says that over the summer of 2021, Kayla and the 3 kids that she has with Adam came to stay with her because of domestic violence. And not only that, Kayla's mom, whose name has not been released, had to take out a restraining order against Adam because on July the 2nd, Adam showed up at her house around 7:45 that evening, and he had a knife. But get this, Adam was never prosecuted for this crime, and he wasn't even really charged with it because the case was dismissed for a lack of service. And by then, Adam had already taken off with another woman. Now, he was asleep in a car with this other woman when he was arrested on New Year's Eve in connection with Harmony's disappearance. Now, as more comes out, I'll be, updating y'all. Now, the phone number that I mentioned for that tip line is 603-203-6060. Now, this is not so much news as it is opinions from me. And I have a lot of questions about this, and I mean, everybody does, but now that great uncle had tried to get help for little Harmony many times, but for whatever reason, and of course, there's not a good reason, he was basically ignored. They just kind of dismissed him or whatever. But now her mom says that she spent the last 2 years trying to contact Adam, and then finally reported her missing in late November of 2021. Now, I'm not anybody to judge anybody, but why on earth would you let it go on all that long time before contacting authorities? I mean, you have to be your child's advocate, even if you don't have custody of them. I mean, you're their voice. And, you know, they always say the sooner you report somebody missing, the better the chance is of finding that person. And another question I have is, why was Adam ever given custody of Harmony? When she was just 4 months old, he was sentenced to 18 months in prison for shooting a man in the head during an armed robbery. Now, who would put a child in the care of somebody like that? I mean, really? In July of 2018 is when Harmony started going in and out of the foster home system. And that was partly because her mom, Crystal, had a substance abuse issue. She bounced in and out of foster homes until February of the next year when Adam was given custody. And that still just blows my mind. I can't get over that. Now, she has a little brother named Jameson who was adopted. But for whatever reason, Harmony was given back to their dad. Now, 2 months later, Crystal, which is Harmony's biological mom, spoke with Harmony through FaceTime. And that was the last time she and Crystal talked. And Crystal told investigators that when she spoke with them. Now, she also told them that the last time she spoke with Harmony that she seemed frightened. Now, it was also that same year that Adam allegedly punched Harmony in the face, giving her that black eye. And that black eye, it wasn't a big secret because Kayla knew about it, and so did Adam's brother, Michael. The summer of 2019, Jameson, which is Harmony's little brother that I mentioned earlier, he was officially adopted, and the couple that adopted him reached out to Crystal and told her that if the need ever came up, they would like to adopt Harmony also. And, they kept in touch. And Crystal was trying to get in contact also with Adam so that maybe Harmony and Jameson could speak through FaceTime because, when they were still together, they were very, very close. Well, when that couple got back in contact with Crystal, she's like, I can't find him. I can't get in touch with him. Well, then in November of that same year, the couple that adopted Jameson wanted to send Harmony some, Christmas gifts from Jameson, but Crystal was still unable to get in contact with Adam. And the search that Crystal was doing for Adam went on for months. And finally, in July of 2021, she found him on social media, but when she contacted him, he immediately blocked her. So then Jameson's adoptive parents tried to contact both Adam and Kayla on social media, but they had no luck. Now, finally, on November 18th of 2021, Crystal reported Harmony missing, and that's basically what we know up to this point. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not passing judgment on Crystal, but I wouldn't have waited an entire 2 years to report my child missing. Okay, y'all. So tonight's episode is going to be kind of short, but it's about a family in Pennsylvania who decided to insulate a room in their house. Well, y'all, there's more to it than that, so stick around.
Welcome to What the Friday, an After Dark series presented by Mystery, Murder, and Magic. Listener discretion is advised.
Now, home improvements and renovations are something that happens across the country and around the world basically on a daily basis. But when a family in Auburn, Pennsylvania, decided to insulate one of the rooms in their house, they were horrified by what they found in the walls. When the Bretzius family found the home or bought the home in 2011, they thought it was their dream home. But to be honest, within the walls are the things nightmares are made of. The following years, when they decided to add the insulation, and they found that the home was already kind of insulated. In the walls, the family found dozens and dozens of dead animals. And these dead animals were wrapped in newspapers from the 1930s and 40s. And also inside of those newspapers with the animals were spices. And, I can remember when people would talk about, when they would mummify, I want to say they used spices, or I heard that somewhere along the way. So, anyway, along with those dead animal carcasses, they also found some artifacts in the wall. Now, what those artifacts were, I don't know. I couldn't find anything online that was like, this is what they found, other than the dead animals. Well, of course the family was horrified and they were probably disgusted. And the odd thing is that before they bought the house, it went through the usual housing inspections that normally take place when you're buying a house, and nothing out of the ordinary was found. Now, perhaps the worst part in all of this is that the family has drained their savings, because this is not the type of thing that homeowners insurance pays for. And it cost the Bretzius family around $20,000 to clean up and fix the walls. So after they found this and some of the initial shock of the discovery wore off, they wanted to know why somebody would do this type of thing. Now, they sent some of the animal carcasses and artifacts to an expert on this type of thing. And what they found out was that it came from what's called powwowing, or Dutch magic, and it was used to heal illnesses. Now, besides draining their savings and having to set up a GoFundMe to help with the repairs, the family also got sick because of the mold that was growing on the carcasses, plus the smell lingered. So what is powwowing or Dutch magic? Well, it's a form of folk magic that was used among, or I shouldn't say used as past tense, I should say it's one of those things among the Pennsylvania Dutch. Now, when I say folk magic, I'm not talking about make-believe type of magic like from movies like Cinderella's Fairy Godmother. It's not that type of thing. I'm talking about, like, how cultures have their different healing practices and whatnot. Like in the South, there's like the root magic, and in the Appalachian Mountains, there's the granny doctors. And I think we talked about them maybe a couple of months ago. But all of these types of magics blend some form of faith, some type of ritual, and healing. And most, if not all of these, are traditions that are still being practiced today. It's just, like I said, it's a short episode, but I thought it was kind of interesting, to say the least, about that family's horrifying discovery. I can only imagine what their thoughts were as they started pulling these out of the wall. I mean, did they think they had found like a buried treasure at first before they started unwrapping these animals? But I can't even imagine finding something like that. Now, also, I realize this episode's coming out much later than it normally does on a Friday night, but this week's been kind of nuts. But today we got us a brand new family member. Now, y'all know I'm an animal lover. And y'all know for a while, y'all don't know this because I probably haven't told you. But anyway, for a while, I've wanted a leopard gecko. And today, the opportunity just kind of jumped out and presented itself. So I jumped on it. Now, we welcomed Poppy. Her name is Poppy. Into the family this afternoon. I'll have to post some pictures of her on our social media pages. But anyway, that's it for now. Join me in the morning for the Weekend Weird Files. Y'all have a good night.